Ashish, for joining us. We have the big job of keeping people
The
awake
graveyard
after
session, right?
a post-lunch session. So, I would skip right to the questions. Congratulations on your big win at the
Thank you.
FEs, and you also won the Grand FE.
A whole session. Okay. So please be ready.
So, we were talking about your recent win at the FEs. So, you must be doing something right that, there are so many awards that have lined up. Walk us through the journey, what it took for the brand to reach this stage.
So it's a culmination of 5 years of hard work. But I think it all started with, as she was introducing, she said, bold work. I think what people do forget is this gentleman was bold enough to start a direct to consumer insurance company back in 2017, and this article captures it, right? So bold is in our DNA, and trying to break the mold of how insurance is being sold, how millions of Indians buy it, how they experience it. That was Varun's vision. Varun really felt that insurance is broken in India, and he really wanted to fix it. And as a marketer's CMO's job, my job was to make sure his vision comes to alive, and that gets translated in how the brand is perceived. I'm really happy to say that now. 5 years back when I joined, we were a 200 crore company. Now we just crossed 2000 last year. 10 times growth. We've got like 30 lakh car and bike customers, more than 1 crore app downloads. More than 500,000 people check their challans on our app. So clearly we have been doing well. And what you see in advertising and communication, the simple truth is the product is great. When you have a great product, you got to do justice to in the promotion. And I think lot of things that we will discuss today will sound logical because it's all in hindsight. When 5 years back when we were working, it was more about growth and let's experiment, etc. So we were really happy that Munna Circuit won us the Grand FE. Personally, as a marketer, it's one of the biggest award you can get, and the team is really pumped about it. So thank you.
Great. And we've, of course, FEs is a proof that you're doing some great creative work, and we have also seen your brand journey through the advertisements that you have put up, the ones that we see on TV, on digital. It has been very different, least be said, from the general insurance ads that we see, right? And given that insurance is not a glamorous product that is out there in the market, you've done a very entertaining job with the advertisements. So what led you to this approach, and what drove you to pick this way of communication?
See, personally, I think advertising is intrusive by nature. Okay, so the least you can do is entertain. If you can do a 30-second commercial in which for 15 seconds you are entertaining and the rest 15 seconds you are leaving your brand's message, that's the best job you can really do. Thankfully, what happened with us was back in the day, and this is the journey I'm taking you through with me. 5 years back, we were just a car insurance brand, right? So it was a lot more easier for me to have fun with the category. In the hierarchy of insurance, travel insurance is the bottom. Then you move to car. Then you move to health, and then you move to life. So the serious stuff was not even there for us at that point in time. Plus, we were a young brand, so we needed to have fun with it and to stand out in the clutter. So I'm going back. This is almost 5 years back. This was the campaign we did. As you can see, this was, I don't even recognize that brand anymore. That we've progressed on that journey. The idea was to still have fun, break the clutter. This was an ode to Takeshi's Castle, that the point, which was a very big cultural reference. I think most brands do. So there is always a formula, right? There's a product message, there's an RTP, and some entertainment. We were really working on that at that point of time. Then what I also believe sometimes is sometimes you really stumble upon things that were not planned. I'll give you an example. Very few people brought their new car insurance from us. So what they would do is when they go to the dealers, they would not buy Acko insurance, but they would take it from the dealer, right? But our biggest value proposition is in the new car segment. You can actually save 60,000-70,000 rupees there. So I spoke to the teams internally, and then we said, can we do something for the new car segment? The answer that I got was, यार लोग normal तो खरीद नहीं रहे हैं, नई गाड़ी कहाँ से खरीदेंगे, right? So that was a challenge for us. I said, let's take a shot at it. And again, keeping the fun element always there. This was the follow-up campaign that we did. Can we have volume? Now this campaign was clearly targeted at the new car segment. Sometimes that's the marketing team's job. You experiment and you actually open a new revenue stream. You won't believe this business now is almost 25% of our business, and it was less than 1% 3 years back, right? And that's a big credit, and especially when the sales started picking up, you got the company's resources, everything aligned. People start thinking about it. So yeah, these are some of the things that really pushed us, saying and in all honesty, we were still experimenting here. We didn't have because the category was still as car insurance. I think as we move further and we talk about health and life, that's where we really sat down and started thinking about it.
Right. And Ashish, you showed us 2 ads, and we clearly see a difference in the content, the build-up, how it has changed over the years. Something else that is changing also is the medium where you put out your ads, the kind of audience that you want to reach. So help us understand a little bit about your media strategy, because 4 years, 5 years back, it was completely different. Now while digital was always there, now we have maybe more of digital, and in digital also we have handheld, we have CTV. There is a lot more to the mix right now. So can you talk us through that? What is the strategy? How do you put your ads out there? What works best for you?
See, I think most people get distracted by the tools that are available rather than still believing in the media principles of reach, frequency, audience. I think 2 years back, we were 50-50 on brand and performance. Now we are heavily on brand and less on performance. The other part, that is 2-3 years back, the requirement was to build stature for the brand, because we knew that in 3 or 4 years, we are going to launch life insurance. And if somebody has to buy life insurance from us, they need to believe that Acko is going to be around for the next 25-30 years. And that's the whole point about building stature. And mass media definitely helps. Mass media definitely helps building stature about it. So what we have done is I'll be honest, we look bigger in media than we actually are. We don't spend that much, but what we have done is a good mix of marquee properties and a good mix of integration. So what we have learned over the last 2-3 years is any property that has 50-60 episodes on a weekly basis. So for example, a KBC, a Shark Tank, a Master Chef, English Premier League, so these properties work for us. You guys have to remember, see, insurance is once in the year, right? So I cannot time when you're going to buy it. What I need to make sure is whenever you think about buying insurance, I am the first top brand that comes to your mind. So it was very important for us to be on air all the time. What really happened was, now after 2.5, 3 years of large scale spending, we actually know, we have enough data to tell us when to go switch off, when to switch on. So yeah, you will see a lot of efficiency coming in the next year's plans, and also I will operate at lower budgets because now we know.
Right.
So yeah, so that has been our approach to make sure that, you know, not just for, and also yeah. So coming to the point, because we are heavily into the top 8-10 markets. OTT and CTV has been working really well for us. We've been on air on TV, but we have never really bought marquee property on TV. So, for example, we'll buy KBC on Sony, but we won't buy it on TV because it doesn't work for us. There's a lot of spillover and too expensive.
Right. And you know, just a related questions, I would love to understand more about being on these marquee IPs properties. Just a related question, you know, the shows that you mentioned, Shark Tank, KBC, and in your previous answers, you were also mentioning that how a lot of people go onto your site to check the kind of challans they have. So it makes me think that, you know, we are also targeting the Gen Z, the new age consumers. So how exactly are you reaching them?
Internally we have a very different description of who our target customer is. You know, we don't define it by age, so we define it by mentality. So I have a friend. His father is 83-year-old neurosurgeon. He has been our customer since last 4 years. Okay, he has an app first mentality. People who want to do it on their own, people who are smart enough. I mean, generally who are. I would like to be a little more efficient with my money experience. Those are the guys we target. Yes, we have a lot of young crowd. So let me put it this other way. Varun has very clear direction. He says in 2030 the person who was born in 2000 will be 30 years old, right? If you as a brand are not relevant to that person, then we have not done a great job in terms of, you know, attaching ourselves to that segment. So yeah, that's the mentality we check.
Right. And like I mentioned that, you know, you are part of a lot of marquee properties, which is very popular even on television while you're on the OTT platform. So as a property, those are very popular and you've been a part of it, like Shark Tank, like ABC. So how does that help the brand? And is there any logic that you put behind, you know, choosing a particular property to associate with?
See, it has to make sense for us. I'll give you a real life example. You know, nobody in the last 25 years sponsored Lifelines. So we jumped on it. We said, Lifelines brought to you by Acko Life Insurance. Like, it was such a easy marketing that is designed to drive growth, not designed to drive growth. Okay, everything should eventually lead to business growing in some form or the other. Some are measurable, directly measurable. Some are non-directly measurable. When I joined the company, all we did was drive growth, and we still continue to do so. Only over a period of time when, you know, we started expanding into other products, like we had a life insurance, health insurance. Suddenly, then, you know, there was a need of having a brand positioning, a new logo, a new identity to signal maturity. So all our efforts, frankly, whether they are, see, I'll show you an example, okay? And you tell me if this is for brand building or for growth, okay?
Sure.
Now tell me whether this is brand building or sales, because I'll tell you there is no RTB, there is no product, there is no integration. But you know what? How this was launched, we were struggling to scale Mumbai, and instead of just trying to put more hoardings and more, we said, we need to connect to the people of Mumbai, and we need to. By the way, this is one of those campaigns that gave me anxiety attacks. But we launched this on 14th of February as a love song for Mumbai, and for the next 6 months, we grew 40% year on year. Which just tells you that consumers are smart. You've resonated with them, you've connected with them at a deeper emotional level. They will fall in love with your brand. And again, this can be classified as just classical brand building, but it was designed to drive growth.
Right. And before we move to the fun question segment, I have two more questions for you. One is, you mentioned that we are going to see a lot more Acko on air. So your focus areas for 2025, what would those be?
I think we are in a stage as a brand that most people have heard about us. Quick anecdote: I used to work for HSBC for 14 years, and then I joined Acko in Bangalore. And in my first month, I was looking for a consultant. So I called that consultant and I said, "Hi, I head marketing for Acko," and his response was, "What? Can you spell it?" And that was the time I still remember the magnitude of task of what was needed was very clear to me, because before that, if I'd call somebody and say, "I'm from HSBC," they'll say, "Yes, how can I help you?" So I thought Acko was India's best kept secret. And in the last 5 years, we've done a journey of scaling the brand up that at least now most people have heard about us. I think insurance as a category lacks apathy. People are not really interested. Nobody wakes up in the morning wants to talk about insurance. So my job now is to not just it's still a lot of awareness. It's still a lot of convincing. We fight a lot of bad mouthing for no reason from a lot of channels. So we are now sitting on a place in which most people now have heard about us. We are now actually reaching a stage in which there are a lot of customers who talk positively. So for example, Bangalore and Hyderabad, we have 10% market share. For a brand like us, which, just to give you context, that means all the cars in Bangalore, 10% are insured by us. And that gives a positive word of mouth, because next time when you're talking about buying a car insurance, you'll speak to somebody and they'll have an experience. Our car renewal rate is 75%. 3 out of 4 people renew with us. NPS is at 70. So a lot of work has gone into building the product, building customer service. We are launching our own Acko garages so that we are able to give better service, claims, etc. products, the issues with health insurance. So there's no rush to, So that's where you'll see a lot of focus in the coming months. Oh, sorry, one last point. Yeah, I do believe that there is still a lot of lack of information about insurance. Even now, my friends call me, "Yaar, ye comprehensive lena hai ki zero dep lena hai?" Now, obviously, nobody wants to pay really much attention. So you'll see a lot of play on content. I'm not sure if you've seen our series with Madhavan in trying to demystify insurance, making sure most people understand it. Our aim is that eventually you will be able to take the right decision on your own with a minimal assistance. And if that happens, then we've done a really good job.
Right. One last question before we move to the fun segment is, we are at that stage where people wouldn't have to ask you how to spell Acko, and we remember the ads, we're seeing the awards that you and your campaigns are getting. So that's a lot of things done right? So, and I'm sure there are a lot of young budding marketers here in the room who would want to take a lesson or two from that. So what is your message to young marketers out there?
Okay, let's say 3 things. One is don't chase glory too fast. I think most people want to have this campaign that goes viral on LinkedIn and that they want to talk about. That's not how brands are built. I think just focus on polishing your craft. I always tell my team who you work for, which brand do you work for, and which manager do you work for between the age of, and what kind of work you do between the age of 28 to 37 will ensure if you have a job at 45 and a senior level job at 45. So put your head down, just work on your craft, make sure, challenge everything. I got lucky at HSBC and I'm a product of that company because every 3 years they kept moving into a different role, and that's how I could polish and learn everything. And that's how, touchwood, I'm still here. I mean, recently there was an article that CMO's life is 2 years, less than 2 years now, and I'm going to complete 5, hopefully, maybe 4.5. But yeah, that's one big learning. I think focus on the craft, the glory will come later. I think second is always do right by what stage of the company is in. So and I will give an example, if I had joined Acko and I'd started focusing on, hey, what's the positioning here, what's the brand purpose, that was not the need of the hour. We needed to grow. We needed to grow fast because as a young company, as you scale, you go for next round of funding, you need funds. And if you're not scaling and you're focusing on those, eventually there's a time when you can focus on other things, right? So do right by what the stage of the company you are in. And lastly, and I think, yeah, it will come to me. I just forgot about it. So, yeah. See, most people, I don't know if they're the marketing function in any company can be the driving force of the company. It can unite, it can rally. I was very surprised when we did our logo reveal video at our annual event, and we had almost 1,100 people in the room. They all stood up and they started clapping, and I was just looking around like, wow. If once you realize that a brand marketing team can actually rally the company behind you and rally the force, that's your responsibility.
Right. And since I've created too much curiosity around the fun bit, one question I can't stop myself from asking is, you got Sanjay Dutt and Arshad Varsi on screen to do an insurance ad, right? The famous Munna Bhai circuit duo. What happened there? What is the story behind it? I've heard there's something very interesting. Please tell
First,
us
let's just
about
play
it.
those two.
Sure.
So as you can imagine, we really had fun with it. But one more lesson for young marketers: if you have 100 rupees and you want to spend 90 on media and 10 on production, that's not the right way to go about it. You do justice with the production, you'll have to spend less on media, because the recall is so high that you don't have to spend that much money on media. The budget given to me for the health insurance launch was 2 crores. Now, as you can imagine, this exceeded the budget at least 5 to 6 times. We got Raju sir to direct it, but we had a strong internal belief that once you get the content right, I will not have to air it so many times. You can make a bad ad and show it 100 times, it will not work. You spend a little more, fight with your CFO, get a little more funding, and then you'll always get it. So the story behind this is, we were brainstorming and we had the idea let's look at Munna Circuit to do this, simply because Munna and Circuit have a outside view from the society कि patient को patient क्यों बोलते हैं, so they always question things in the society. So we said, and our product, I'm sorry for a plug, 0 waiting period, 100% bill payment. I was surprised that it's not offered in the health insurance industry. So then we discussed, and the agency said, we have the scripts, but I don't know if Raju sir will agree because he has the right. And so we flew down and we met Raju sir, and I am pacing up and down because I am very nervous because I really want him to say yes about this. And we go to his office, and he says, which one of you has come from Bangalore? So the agency points her client. Says, okay, come. And then the next 15 minutes, I passionately talk about Acko and what we're trying to do and this and that. And he's just sitting there looking at it. And then he says, "Aap samosa khayenge?" Sir, aap is samay kuch bhi khilao, kha lunga. So we had samosa, and I'm not sweating because I really want him to say yes, that I will do it. Till now he has not said, and I have completely broken into sweat. Then he gets up and says, "Chaliye Ashish ji karte hain." That was it. I was like, I know how big this is going to be for us. I did not expect it to be a grand FE, but yeah, that's the...
Great. The way and how beautifully you explain the product and the things, I'm surprised I don't have Acko insurance yet. But
I'm more than happy. You should try it out.
one, since we saw these beautiful ads, filmy way to end this session is, if there was one film or 2 films you had to pick up to explain Acko's journey, what would those be?
If you ask Varun this question, Varun bolega Bazigar. If you ask me, I will say Khatro Ka Khiladi. Because I think we attempt too many bold things. I'm getting old. We should stop doing. I can't have so many anxiety attacks.
That, according to me, sums it up as "Dar ke aage jeet hai." So, thank you so much for this amazing session.
Thank you guys. Thank you for
Ashish.
having me. Thank you.
Thank you so much.